Welcome to Bees Along. I have decided that to save confusion I'm going to do two completely separate assemblies. One for a standard Longstaff hive and the other one will be for the cedar flow hybrid hive. So this one is for a standard Longstaff hive. It'll apply to an 8 frame or a 10 frame. You need to start off with the top. If it came like this, pre-assembled, it might be covered in metal, you can skip this part. The lid will come with the board itself. It might be like this one, which is WeatherTex, or it could be ply, and there'll be 4 rails, 2 long rails and 2 short rails. Depending on the quality of the hive itself, I checked first with a square to make sure I could find a square corner. Now, this one on this side was not square, but this one on this side is square, so I've marked it up accordingly. I've been round the board and marked a centre line of the rail all the way round, and 3 screw points along this side and 4 along the long side. Pre-drill them with a countersunk drill. With the holes drilled, put the board aside. On the short rails, you need to pre-drill and countersink the pilot holes at each end. With the pilot hose drilled, a 45mm by 8 gauge screw will be big enough. Put it to one side and bring up your board again. Position the frame flush along this front edge and flush on this corner. If it's at all out of square, like this one is, it's out of square that way, turn it over, line it up again so that the proud edge of the frame is past the underneath board. Now put a mark on the frame so you know which way round it's going to go. Then go around and glue the whole frame. Now swap them around. Put the frame on the bottom, the board on the top, line up this front edge and the corner of the straight side. Now put a screw in each side. 25mm long will be enough. Now you need to pull the board to the corner of the straight edge until it's flush and put a screw in. Turn the board around, put 2 screws in this edge, and then go around the whole board and screw up. With all the screws in, go around and clean off any glue that's been squeezed out. And turn the board around so that your marked arrow is facing you. And your square corner, whichever it is, mark it on the other side of the frame, like so. So you know that this is your square corner of your box. Put the lid to one side and get yourself a hive body. Lay a long side down with the handle facing away from you, and then turn it over so the handle is now closest to you. Get a side panel, and with the handle facing towards you, line it up over the rebates and push it down in place. Turn the board around. The handle is now facing away from you. Get the other side panel, and with the handle again facing away from you now, line up the rebates, wiggle it into place. Now get the other long side with the handle facing out, and away from you. Line it up. Sometimes they take a bit of persuading. Turn the box completely around and line up the other side. Now you may need a persuader. Be gentle. Move it out the way for a second. Just make sure it doesn't fall apart. It shouldn't. Put your lid back up again. Put the hive box inside. Now I pulled it up flush on this side on the square corner. Some hive bodies only come with one screw down each corner, but some come with a screw down the other side as well. So depending on which type you have, go around using the supplied screws and put one screw in each corner at the top, making sure that you keep it square in that corner. With all the screws in, turn the box over. Go around to your square corner again and make sure it's correct. Also make sure the joint is as close as possible. Then screw up each corner all the way around. Now you can take the box out of the lid, put the lid to one side, put the box back up again, have your screw holes facing upwards so it's easier for you to screw them together. With all your screws done up, do a quick check inside the box just to make sure that none of your screws have gone in crooked and come into the interior of the box. Right, that one is complete. Now you have to do the second one. Now we come to the bottom board. If you're using any board that is already assembled, like this one, which is the mesh bottom, with the slide out tray, or any other type that is already assembled, you can miss this step. Now remember, these come without any feet on them. If you're using a solid baseboard, it will come with either WeatherTex like this one or ply. It should have two support bottom rails, two long rails, one back rail and one front rail. Now this one has the hive entrance in it. So the method will be exactly the same, the hive lid. Bring up your hive lid. Now remember, it's got a marked corner, it's square. Your back and front rail will need to have pilot hose drill, countersunk. 8 gauge by 32 mil will be just about right. Starting with the front rail, with the entry facing down, line up along the front edge and the side edge so it's square. Hold them tightly together and screw them. Turn it right over. Then do this end. Take the frame off. Bring up the board. This will actually be the underside of the board facing the ground. This frame will be on the other side with the painted surface inside. With the frame in the correct place, this being the back, mark on the inside of the frame at the front, turn it over and mark where the end of the entry is. So you want 2 holes in here, 2 holes in the other side. Then mark down the center, the same as you did on the other board. Put 3 holes in there, 4 holes down each side. Drill the pilot holes. Place your frame down with the back towards you, the hive entrance, the cutout facing up. Glue up around the edges. Place your board painted side down. The side with the countersunk holes facing upwards. Line it up to the frame edge. In your square corner and along the back. Put 2 screws in. They're 25mm long. You want 1 screw in the side that is the square side, the long side. Push it so it lines up. Put 1 screw in. Now go around the whole frame and screw up. You're going to be putting 2 supporting rails on the underside, front and back. I would drill through from the frame side so that you don't actually hit any screws. So just mark up where it goes, where the rails go. Put 1 through the middle there, 2 on the back, 1 on the other side. With the 2 rails laid down, glue up 1 only. Then with the front of the board facing away from you, line up the rail with the back of the board. Use screws between 50 and 60mm long, making sure that your countersunk is deep enough that these heads don't come above this frame, because your hive body sits on here. When you fasten the front rail in place, it has to line up with the frame above. So glue it up, line it up, and then screw it. Just go around and make sure that all the screw heads are below the surface, and that's another component finished. Now remember, it does not have feet on it. In both the brood and the super boxes, glue and tack a piece of lollipop stick to each end, making sure you keep the tops flush. Your inner cover will come already pre-assembled. So you're now ready to paint all the components. Use only a water-based, either paint, or you can use a decking oil. Let them dry for a couple of days, because even water-based paints. So how did it go? Did you find it easy or was it hard? Did you use a solid bottom board or a mesh vented one? Let us know. People are interested. Put your comments below, and if you have any questions, they're more than welcome. Hooroo! For future videos and updates, please subscribe, then click the bell.